Good evening. Welcome to Morty's Diner. It's Christmas Eve. Unbelievable. So it's December 24th, about 9:12 p.m. And tonight isn't really a conversation or monologue show. It's a respite from the hate and viciousness and mob violence that's on YouTube. So get yourself a drink, a Smithwick's ale, a Fundador Spanish brandy, even a Bud Light or a bone shaker. And just relax, hang out if you'd like. Maybe later we'll do some chat. But yeah, we're just going to hang out and take it easy, you know? Because after all, Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas Eve. Oh, and yeah, hey, hello, Mega Value and 1U. Bradley, Spring and Fialta. Glad you all showed up. And but I'm not really going to be talking. It's just going to be some relaxation and contemplation and stuff for a half hour, an hour, and maybe I'll be back later with. Well, I'll be here, but maybe we'll do some talking, or if anybody wants to chat a little bit later on. So yeah, thanks very much, and enjoy your Christmas Eve. Well, good evening. Morty here. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Morty here, Christmas Eve. Right now, no viewers. Fantastic. Two people watching. Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, relaxing, reclined in my chair here and recovering over another horrible year. A place to relax and escape the hate, the wars, the backstabbing that goes on with those other channels every day. No real topics for tonight. Just gonna see how it goes. Hello, Max, if you're still there. Van Lux, good evening. Hey, PSK, are you having a bone shaker tonight? There in the snowy Canada. Must be nice. Van Lux, you think so? That's what people tell me. That's what some people tell me every year. I mean, at the end of every year, they go, "Next year, Morty, is your year." And then that year always turns out to be worse than the year just ended. But maybe I'm over dramatizing my life. I don't think so. But, keep smiling and be optimistic. So I'm drinking this Trader Joe's eggnog. I was at Trader Joe's 4 or 5 days ago picking up some stuff. And they had a young lady there doing some free sample stuff by the wine department. And I said, hello. She said, hi. I said, what do you have there? And she had 3 bottles of wine, one eggnog, one was a cocoa or a chocolate flavored wine thing. I don't remember the label, it's in the kitchen. And then the third one, I don't remember. So she says, would you like a taste? And I said, sure. So it was very nice. I've never had eggnog in my entire life. Never. I know people can't believe that, but never. And so I bought the bottle. I don't know if it's really eggnog, but it's wine, and it says made with eggs on it, and I think it said 13% or 18% wine on the label, and other stuff. And it's pretty nice. Frankly, I should but it's got eggs in it or egg yolks or whatever. I don't remember. And wow, I should maybe just for this week, it's okay. But just have wine. I got plenty of wine. I got wine here, and brandy and beer. I should buy a bottle of whiskey. Just to have in the house, either a Bushmills or a which I like mixed with a Coke Zero, I guess. Or Johnny Walker Black, which just on the rocks is very nice. And yeah, so maybe I'll pick those up this week or next week if I have any money for that. Yeah, pour some scotch. Yeah, I'm gonna buy 1 or 2 bottles of scotch, like I just mentioned, Bushmills and Johnny Walker Black, just to have it here. Hey, John Swatch, got the wife a laser hair removal system for Christmas. Figure we'll both benefit. Dot dot dot. If you know what I mean, and I believe that you do. Wow, congratulations. That's a thoughtful gift. Mm, yeah. Yeah. So PSK, you got any snow today up there? You have a snowy Christmas or no? This Trader Joe's eggnog is it's nice. I mean, it's kind of sweet, and it's got the eggs in it, which I could do without. But I could see how you can drink the whole bottle. I mean, why not? But in that case, just drink a bottle of stuff without the eggs and high sugar content that this probably has. But yeah, it's very nice. Do you think in Utah, do you think Mormons, well, I don't know. Actually, I really don't know. Do Mormons celebrate Christmas? I have no idea. But even at this time of year, do you think they drink eggnog? They're not allowed to have alcohol, as is the belief, but maybe they can have eggnog without alcohol. Just make it, but don't add the alcohol. Maybe they do that at parties, but I don't know if they actually do Christmas parties in Mormon Utah. Don't know. So the girl there at the free sample counter at Trader Joe's. So I took a taste of those two. I didn't try the third one. I don't remember what that was, but I wasn't interested. A PSK minus 20 Celsius and a small amount of snow. Very nice. Very nice. Here it's in the 30s, but no snow. Maybe some rain. So I really liked it. So I said, I'll take one of these and one of these. She goes, oh, so I had them all stacked up there. So I took one bottle of each, two bottles total. He said, oh, thank you very much. I said, sure, you got it. I mean, you bet. Thank you. It was very nice. And yeah, you see eggnog in Hollywood films from the 40s, 50s, 60s, people having Christmas parties and, like in The Apartment with Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. And then, at the office there, people are all making out in their little cubicles and in the manager's offices. And none of that going on here at the diner tonight. I'm going to go back in the kitchen and pour another glass of this Trader Joe's 18% wine alcohol, eggnog. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. So, the Trader Joe's girl there, at the sample, who was sampling this wine, she said the chocolate one goes really great in coffee. So I said, "Oh, fantastic! I'll do that." So I was thinking tomorrow morning when I wake up. Well, Let's be honest. I wake up at 2 in the afternoon, but I thought, well, when I wake up in the morning, just add a few ounces to a cup of coffee. But then that would be drinking in the morning. I've never really done that. But at this point, frankly, what difference does it make? Yeah. I'll put the invite link up. I have absolutely nothing at all to talk about. But if anybody wants to chat about anything, we can do that. But like I said, I've got nothing, and there it is. Now tomorrow is the big Christmas Day show with extra special content. I mean, really, I'm not misleading the audience by saying that. It's, I mean, really. But this is all based on the premise that I can wake up in time for a 1:30 in the afternoon show. So if I miss, I mean, I'll set my alarm. Just, I know it's absurd, but I'll set my alarm for noon, just to make sure that I don't miss the show. So it's day drinking, far more acceptable. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, you can certainly start drinking at lunchtime. That's obviously done. But in the morning, I don't know. Morning, just staggering out of bed into the kitchen, pouring a coffee with booze in it. I mean, that's not something I've really ever done. I mean, look who I'm talking to in this audience out there. These people are smoking weed and guzzling booze the second they wake up, and up until the second they go to bed. And even when they're in bed, they're probably still smoking dope and drinking booze. If I know the people out there, and believe me, I do. So, hello to the 6 people watching. Hope you've had a nice day and will have a pleasant day tomorrow. Yeah, I looked at the ingredient on the back label on this bottle of Trader Joe's eggnog. It says contains eggs, milk and eggs, and I think it was 18% wine or something. Yeah, so it's nice, but I should just have straight wine or like scotch or brandy, whatever. Wait till you hit the mushrooms. Yeah, I've never done mushrooms, unlike everyone else who's watching this show. I don't think I'd have a good response, a good reaction to psychedelic stuff. I think I might freak out and rip my eyeballs out and jump off of the roof. One of those things. So if I had a spiritual guide with me while I was doing the ayahuasca and LSD, then maybe or if I was in a doctor's office, with a fully teamed, crash cart and cardiac unit on alert, then maybe I would try it. But at this point, no. But when I was younger, under those conditions, I guess I could have tried it. But you can't really call your doctor and say, "Have a full team on standby. I want to come over to your office and do some psychedelics." I don't think they'd allow that. Then again, depends where you are. If you're in San Francisco, I mean, they'd say, "Sure. Why meet at the office? Let's all meet at the bathhouse." You know. Anyway, so tomorrow's the Christmas Day show. Hopefully, hoping that I can get up wake up on time. So I guess everything's closed tomorrow, Christmas Day, but um, maybe Friday I'll go and get a couple bottles of scotch because right now it would be really nice to have that, but I don't have it right now. You know, I've had an ice cube tray in one of the cupboards in the kitchen. It's been there forever, and I've never made ice cubes here. But if I'm going to buy Johnny Walker Black, then I should have it. I should have some ice cubes because that's how I would like to have it. So I'll actually clean up the the plastic ice cube tray, and make some ice cubes. So I'll be ready. How's that? John, you're far too aware of yourself to get into trouble, Morty. Doc, not necessary. I understand that, but I just like to have all bases covered, based on life experiences. And but yeah, I mean, right. I could also just walk over to the local fire department and sit outside and do LSD and psychedelics, and if anything happens, I'm right there. I can just bang on the door, and they got the emergency vehicles right there. Much like the weed, you're overthinking it. Yeah, you're probably right. Boy, in fact, you are right. Alcohol is the most dangerous drug. Well, that's probably true. I mean, in terms of effect on the population, but fentanyl is probably, well, I don't know. Fentanyl, heroin, fentanyl is killing tens of thousands of people now. But alcohol destroys lives as well, and so you're probably right. In San Francisco, they would say Twinkies is the most dangerous drug because if you it can cause you to commit homicide. If you eat too many Twinkies, your brain short circuits and become a homicidal maniac. I mean, it's true. I mean, that's what they did or said. John, you'd end up on the back of a ladder truck like Kramer. Well, that would be all right, just as long as it didn't end up in some bathhouse, not knowing where I was. Yeah. Okay, I feel I've had enough of the eggnog. It's too sweet. And it's, eggs and milk, and it's probably better just added to something like a brandy or yeah. So I'm done with the eggnog for tonight. So I'm here, but there's nothing going on. Just sitting here in my basement playing World of Warcraft. And that's a joke. I watched a little bit of some of those other shows this afternoon, maybe about a half hour's worth. Everybody was making up, making nicey, inviting inviting each other to, you know, each other's shows and panels, and they did the same thing last Christmas week. It lasted not even a week, and the battles and the raping and backstabbing started all over again. It'll be the same this time. So they're all nicey this week, but give it a week. They'll be blasting each other because that is what they do. They can't restrain themselves from that. But it's got nothing to do with me after all. 7 viewers, that's pretty nice. That's pretty good. Down to 6, even better. I just gave myself a thumbs up, like button. Okay. So I've got 1 thumbs up. Yep. There we go. Fantastic. 3 thumbs up. Whoa, my mind is blown. Absolutely blown away. Last night's show was pretty good. It was called Doom and Gloom. Morty's Doom and Gloom holiday show. It's pretty nice. Got about 300 views, I think, or something like that. And talked with Spring and Ozzy Expat. Had some good gun talk and stuff. It was pretty interesting. Tonight's show, really nothing. Just relaxing Christmas Eve theme and the eggnog story at Trader Joe's. That's it. I was sleeping before in the late afternoon, and man, I had unbelievable dream. Absolutely incredible. I was with 2 high school friends. We're walking, from high school back home, and, there was a police like, a whole bunch of police, and they were arresting, like, they looked like 10, escaped convicts in prison uniforms, and they had them all lying down on the ground, and so we walked all the way around to get around that, and, I had a piece on me, and, this guy who was an FBI agent, waved me over into a back room of some building they were in with his partner, and they started interrogating me, and, it was unbelievable. Wow. Oh, yeah, I shot somebody because I was attacked at that shopping area, so I had to take care of business, and, wow, it was amazing. No, I didn't shoot, that was it, uh, I didn't shoot, but I had to, you know, draw the weapon, and, they gave me a real third-degree interrogation. It was, but I just talked back at him, you know, and, yeah, it was amazing. Not amazing, just really weird. Portland's not the city where or any of these cities now, LA, where apparently I'm living now, and, Seattle and all these you can't go out this time of night and take a nice walk in the cold, and even if you have snow, it's too dangerous. But, way back growing up, you could be out all night, Christmas Eve, walking around. No one ever thought about safety risks. I mean, it's just a different planet. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. 10:25, Christmas Eve. I was gonna call somebody yesterday, somebody I haven't talked to in a long time, just to, say hello and see how they're doing on WhatsApp, and, their name was gone from my WhatsApp list, my WhatsApp, contact list. So they must have removed me, or they must have removed themselves and or I don't know about blocking, but they just removed themselves as a contact. I thought, "Wow, wow, amazing, absolutely amazing." But that's the Christmas spirit, you know. Be nice to people, be generous, courteous, and they still fuck you, you know. You still get fucked. That's the way of the world. That's where the alcohol comes in. Is Morty serious or is he kidding? I can never tell. God, this is a depressing show. I know one guy in Florida, if he was watching this, he would have turned it off. He would have been saying, "My God, I can't stand it. I can't listen to that." Yeah. You're not going to believe this. We have a guest backstage. My mind is blown. Let me lower the volume there. And let's welcome on a guest here. Amazing. Hello, Mental Knock.
Hello, Morty. Just thought I'd come on and wish you a Merry Christmas, me and the
Thank you.
wife.
It's the Mental Knock. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm hot.
Yeah, and you're in
Wearing
Bali.
this in Bali. Yeah.
Bali. And there's Mrs. Jock. Hello, Mrs. Jock. Great to see
She
you.
says hello, Mrs. Jock.
Mm.
So yeah, just thought I'd quickly come on and wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a
Thank you very
fantastic
much.
day.
Thank you very much. Same to
Yeah,
you and
man.
Mrs. Jock. Yeah.
Uh, I've enjoyed your content at times, mate, and thanks for having me on. I just thought I'd quickly come on and yeah, and wish you all the best, and all the best we
Oh,
don't hear from you for 2026.
thank you very much. Best to you and Mrs. Mental Jock. And what's the weather there today, by the way? Since you're wearing that Santa Claus suit.
It's humid and hot.
Wow.
Humid and hot.
Right.
I'm sweating buckets in this
There
thing.
you go. Well, the
Have you even
area
got
looks
hair or more?
yeah, the area there looks absolutely beautiful. So you've got it all,
It's
man.
a bit it's a bit humid, but it's the weather's. I'm not complaining. I mean, the weather. It's
Oh
probably
yeah.
I don't know. You do it differently. It's like 20. I think it's about 27, 28 degrees.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's lovely. It's lovely. It's
Yeah.
I can't
That's
complain.
about like 90 or so. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So
very
anyway,
nice.
I'll leave
Yeah.
you to it, brother. I just thought I'd come on and seen you live to say Merry
Thank you
Christmas
so
to
much.
you and everyone in the chat. All right.
Thank you, Mental Jock. See
Have
you later.
have a
Bye
great
bye.
day, bro. All right. See you
You
later.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye. Ah, wasn't that nice? Wow. What a nice guy. I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. That was nice. You know who would be fun to talk to tonight? Is would be Easy Company. Haven't talked to him in a month or so since that last and one time I was on the Dungeon Channel. I wonder what Easy Company's doing on Christmas Eve in Hanoi. I wonder what he's doing. Well, it's already Christmas Day in Vietnam, but hmm, who knows? I guess the Docs channel network, the Docs Report network, will be coming on at midnight with that show they do overnight. You know, with those two guys. Apparently, they start off the show the first half is hate and viciousness, and then the second half is movie and car talk. Looks like that's the format. I watch bits and pieces here and there, not the entire thing straight through. It's too late. And back when they were on the Nicholas channel, same thing. Let's take a look. I was watching the fantastic Mark Felton channel, you know, the military historian, and he had a new episode today about Himmler. Heinrich Himmler was the body that they said was him when they buried him, or you know when he died. Was it really him, or was it an imposter? Was it a body double? Just unbelievable. Nothing's believable anymore. Everything is you can't believe anything. So he presented a very circumstantial but very convincing case that he said is to be continued. Um, was that a body double? And did he get away, or was that actually really him who the British had in their custody and then he died while they were in charge of him? Very, very interesting stuff. So you can't believe anything. I posted a video on my posts page of some other channel where they visit a cemetery in Germany to visit two famous German theatrical people, their grave sites. And wow, extremely well done. And what a remarkably serene, uh, peaceful cemetery. So I recommend that if you want to see that kind of content. The guy who runs that channel, he really films quality content. It's on my posts page if you want to take a look at it. Anybody been watching news from Canada? I watch Rebel News channel on YouTube. One of the best news channels around. And the insane shit that goes on in Canada that the Rebel News team reports on is absolutely unbelievable. It's just jaw-dropping liberal insanity day after day. And I'm sure none of the Canadian mainstream news outlets cover any of those stories, but it's just amazing. I mean, amazing. Yeah, they'll be on. Those two guys will be on at midnight. Another hour and a half, spreading hate and viciousness. I just looked at Doc's Report's last show. His thumbnail. The show was it's the Lone Ranger thumbnail, and his title is called "Patek Sold." Police called Tuesday, August 20. Oh, this is old show. Tuesday, August 26th. That's an old show. Never mind. Let's see the OC's Ball Washer channel. He's got great videos there he makes. Okay, what's his last post? Let's see here. You got to go to OC's Ball Washer channel and look at his shorts page. I mean, he's got one short there, only 83 views. It's just classic. Okay, his last video was cruise ship comedian narc. I don't know. Yeah, I did watch that, but I can't look at that again. I need a break. And the Breitling watching time, he has really great videos too. I also watch Sky News Australia channel. They have some really gorgeous news ladies, anchor ladies, and yeah. And here's their latest post. It says New South Wales declares protest ban for 14 days. New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon has banned protests in Sydney for 14 days. How about that? That's freedom of speech for you. This comes after gun and protest reforms were passed by the New South Wales Parliament on Wednesday. The laws grant the police commissioner the power to ban protests for up to 3 months following the declaration of a terror incident. Wow. Amazing. So if you wanted to go in front of the city hall and protest anything, you'll get arrested. If you wanted to protest Vegemite, you'll get arrested. Incredible. Here's a post from Watch Nicholas 2 hours ago. He says Marcelo still hasn't accepted keys and is on with that guy. You know, that guy. Will we be able to buy his loyalty with some pieces of silver? Holy shit. Fucking content. Unbelievable. Here's a nice video. Introducing a kitten to my 5-year-old cat. I'll watch that later. That looks good. That looks good. Pentagon deploys more troops to the Caribbean for Venezuela. Wow. There's the Michael Francis channel. Boy, he's a grifter. Yeah. He was a he was a captain in the Colombo family, but when he's asked, "Did you ever kill anyone?" He won't answer the question. So, I mean, you can't get that position without doing some work, as they say. So, you know, Tim Waltz, Governor Waltz ripped over claim Trump is waging war. What an absolute lunatic this guy Waltz is. Bill O'Reilly says about Tim Waltz, this guy is an idiot. Well, he is. Oh, here's an interesting video. It's called The Seven Levels of Psychopaths. And they break down the seven levels. Oh, I've gotta watch this. Let me save that. Right. Okay, that looks like a great video. I'll have to watch that later. Here's a channel where they do dirty jokes. So I'll read this. This is called Daily Jokes. Dirty jokes. Okay. So a guy walks into a restaurant and gets seated. Every waitress is stunning, but one in particular with a very short skirt and legs for days comes to his table. She smiles and asks, "What would you like, sir?" He looks her slowly up and down, then says, "A quickie." She freezes, turns bright red, and walks off without a word. A minute later, she comes back, trying to stay professional. "What would you like, sir?" And he gives her another long, shameless scan and repeats, "A quickie, please." That's it. She hauls off and slaps him hard across the face, then storms away. The guy at the next table leans over quietly and whispers, "Hey, I think it's pronounced quiche." So that's not a funny joke. Okay, I'll get rid of that channel. That's not funny at all. Meanwhile, in Australia, the countdown begins for the Sydney to Hobart yacht race. Wow, isn't that exciting? Oh, this is a nice video. Gilded Age Winter on Fifth Avenue. This looks very nice. I'll save that for later. Sky News. North Korea fires long range missile towards Sea of Japan. Ah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Great news there. Yeah, at the annual Kennedy Center honors, Trump gave the Kennedy Center Award to Kiss. Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley and whoever else was in that photo. Unbelievable. What great lasting contributions has Kiss ever contributed to American culture and American? I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's incredible. Kiss. Amazing. Trump's attempt to deploy National Guard troops to Chicago denied by U.S. Supreme Court. That's just unbelievable too. How can they deny that? He's the commander in chief. Oh, he will appeal that decision. Okay, very good. He'll probably win. Prevail, I should say. Did you hear the news from Georgia about the last election, the 2020 election? The state officials admitted they illegally counted 310,000 ballots for Biden, absolutely unverified, unsigned, unchecked, and thereby giving the state of Georgia to Biden in the election. Absolute proof Trump was correct all the time. The voter fraud was out of the was beyond belief, and now it's been verified by the state officials themselves. The corrupt Georgia election system swung the state to Biden, and they've admitted it. It's out there now. It's in the news. Total Democrat corruption, total fixed rigged election. It's now proven. I mean, it's always been proven, but now it's proven. I watched a police body cam video earlier today. It was absolutely disgusting. I mean, just unbelievable. It took place in a assisted living home, and there was a guy there who was raping and molesting elderly, incapacitated women, and the staff knew about it and did absolutely nothing. So the reason the police were called in this video was a woman actually died, and so they called the police. An 80-year-old woman, I believe her age was, and this creep who was living there, 60-year-old guy, who's totally deranged, he suffocated her and had sex with her dead body. And then, left a ton of DNA evidence, fingerprints on the coffee cup and the bed sheets and everything. And then he went back to his room down the hallway, and the police came, and the evidence, they just grabbed the guy. And unbelievable. Necrophilia, baby. I'm sorry, baby. Here's a video about how much Carol Burnett absolutely hated, detested Marlon Brando. Wow, I must watch that later. So interesting. Anybody out there see the video of that woman in Seattle who was attacked by this deranged idiot roaming the streets with this wooden plank with a big giant nail on it and blinded her? He was a trans felon who had been arrested and let go 8 times in 2025. Yeah, no cash bail, just release all the convicts, release all the prisoners. You're arrested but immediately released. Right. Well, here's a video about Chinese models with big breasts. This looks good. I'll have to watch this. Save that for later. Up in Minnesota, they're talking about all these Somali immigrants who have stolen millions from federal and state programs, just 50 shifty grifting and stealing. And there's talk about deporting all these Somalis back to Somalia. I say, leave the Somalis in Minnesota, send Governor Tim Walz to Somalia, deport him. But they won't listen to me. So latest news from Minneapolis on Fox News. A McDonald's in uptown Minneapolis is going viral for locking its doors during business hours to, quote, ensure a safe environment. Wow. The restaurant previously tried community based solutions to combat the rise in crime before ultimately deciding to close its dining room to the public. Well, there you have Democrat controlled cities and state up in Minnesota. What's to be expected? Here's a video about Pattaya Walking Street nightlife, all the prostitutes and trannies out there in Pattaya, Thailand, with all the old, fat Australian sex tourists walking around. Okay. Wow. Oh, here's a body cam video. Off duty cop blames his cat for his drunk driving. I'll have to watch that. Save that for later. Oh, here's a video. Habsburgs buried in the imperial crypt. Oh, I'll have to watch this. Let's save that. In New York City, Mamdani panics after huge companies leave New York. Well, of course, they're all going to get the hell out of there. Here's a Watch Nicholas post. Did Tan Weasel have to private and delete his last 5 dungeons because they all justified doxing and going real world trying to defend JBJB and shift blame onto Watch Nicholas? Wow. Amazing. Here's a video from police body cam video from Indiana. Indiana woman had sex with dog on video. Police body cam. So what's the problem? I don't know. Here's a vid. Soldier dad returns after years. Cats go crazy with joy. Oh, I'll have to watch that. I'll save that for later. You think cats can remember their owners after a year or two, or three or four? I don't know. Oh, here's a pretty cool cat video I'm going to send to somebody. I'm sure they'll be absolutely thrilled. It says there are 4 people watching this show. How can that possibly be? People are actually watching this show? It's unbelievable. They must be passed out. Too much eggnog. That would explain it. I really want to watch that cat video. I should turn this off and watch that cat video. Yeah, hey, Gigadwa. Yeah, just hanging out. No content. Well, no ideas for content. Just, hanging out. It's going to end the show in a minute or two anyway. But unless you'd like to come on the panel. Otherwise, I'll wrap it up in a minute or two. It's been a 2.5 hour show with absolutely no content. A jock stopped by for a minute before with his wife. That was very nice. Yeah, I guess so, because I'm going to wrap it up now. So I'm sure the late night hate channels, there'll be several shows on. So go for it, man. They'll be acting all nice and nicey and let's make up and, give it a week. It'll be battle and war and hate all over again. They can't stop. Anyway, that's it for tonight's Christmas Eve relaxation show. And I'll see you tomorrow, 1:30 in the afternoon for the really special content. I mean, you'll be surprised. Oh, what's this? Did you see Cello's new contract? Oh, I saw something about it, and I just can't deal with it because they'll break up, and it'll take a week or two. Then they'll be at each other's throat all over again. You know exactly right. Well, we're up to 5 viewers now, but I think I'm ready to end the show. Yeah. All right. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.